monarchs? I am divine. Thank you so much for your time. I'm so grateful that we have online. Welcome or welcome back to the monarchy. Okay, so this is going to be another prophetic dream vision. Okay, and oh wait, no, well, the other two will. This one is going to be about 7 questions for God. Okay, and this is in specifically pertaining to divine connections, right? Kingdom spouses, God ordained spouses, whatever it is you like to call it. Okay, because the Lord was saying to me, He was like, the problem is my children don't know what questions to ask, right? They don't know what to ask for, right? It's not that they're not asking, it's not that they're not praying, right? Is that they don't know what to ask for, what to be praying for, or inquiring to the Lord about. So God had me do this exercise, and these are not like, some of these are the exact questions that He gave me to ask, but then some of them are like questions that He told me that it were for you guys and not for me. Okay, so, and the example that He gave me from the Bible is Solomon, right? When Solomon went to God and God told him, like, what do you need or what do you want, right? Solomon knew what to ask for, right? He asked for the right thing, and therefore he got everything else simply because he asked for the right thing, right? He asked for wisdom instead of asking for something that was selfish or not important or was shallow or idle, right? He asked for something that was pleasing in the sight of God, right? And that God was like, okay, I see your heart, I see your spirit, I see where you're at. And so God gave him even more than what he asked for, right? So these are the questions, the 7 questions for God in relation to kingdom spouse, kingdom marriage. Okay, and the first question is, when are they going to propose? Right? Or if you're the guy, when does God want you to propose? Right? Now, this could be like you're already in union or in connection with this person, or it just could be you know who it is, or maybe you don't even know who it is, right? It doesn't matter where you are on your journey, right? All of these can, I wish I could stop saying right. All of these pretty much will apply, okay, is how the Lord gave it to me. But you might be wondering, like, why would the Lord tell me when they're going to propose? You know, which for the guy, obviously, God will tell you when. You know, and of course, as always, right? If you're in the season for this, right? If you ask these questions and you're not in the season for this, and this is not even what God has been speaking to you about, what God has been working on with you, He might not even answer these questions. He might just be like, listen, for later, save it for later. Right? Come back to this video later when you're in that season and it's time for you to ask those questions, right? So of course you always have to know what season you're in, but not only that, you have to know with what God is having you focus on right now. If God is not having you or been talking to you or working on you for this in particular, then this might not be for you. Okay, so the Lord was saying that, like, obviously for the woman, He's not going to tell you the exact day because it's supposed to be a surprise, right? But He will give you like a season, or He will give you like a certain year or something like that, right? Where He will give you that because He wants you to prepare, right? He wants you to take it seriously. He wants you to really know that it's coming, and He wants you to prepare for it. Okay, and vice versa. Even if you're the guy, He wants you to prepare, right? He wants you to start getting things that He's been putting on your heart to work on and to get together. Okay, so the next question number 2 is, does anyone in their family know about you and your marriage promise? Okay, so does anyone in your spouse's family know about you and the promise of God that God has for you and that person? Okay, and then the third question is, do they feel the way about you the way you feel about them? right? And if you haven't met this person yet, or if you have, like, you know who it is, but you haven't met them, or, you know, you don't know who it is at all, the Lord was saying, phrase this question a little bit differently as, do they feel the same way about marriage and family and kids, and right? Like, do they have that same desire already? Or is that something that the Lord is working on with them? Or, you know, in that, something in that way, right? Do they, not does they, do they have the same desire and that same want in their heart? That God also put that same promise in their heart and in their spirit to want to have and sustain and maintain a family life, right? Oh, I said right again. Okay. I'm gonna stop one day, because just because I'm aware of it, like, I'm gonna stop eventually. I will. Okay, the next question, that was question number 3. The question number 4 is, what is their purpose? Okay, and so the Lord said, you need to be praying for your husband or your wife and inquiring to the Lord about what their purpose is, so that you know, right, how to be a helpmate. The Bible tells us that man and wife, right, husband and wife, are a helpmate. The woman is a helpmate to the man, and the man is a helpmate to the woman. Okay, he's the leader, but he's still the helpmate as well to the woman. And you have to know what to pray for and what to pray against for your person in regards to their purpose. Okay, you need to know what is going to be coming up against them in regards to them achieving or obtaining, or actually bringing into full fruition the anointing that the Lord has over their life. Okay, and so the next question is, who or what, which leads to this next question, who or what will be the biggest adversary or opposition or challenge to the marriage or union? Okay, so notice I said who or what, not just who or not just what, right? Who or what will be the biggest challenge or opposition or adversary to you guys' marriage or you guys' union. Okay, and I'm not just talking about the enemy, right? I'm not just talking about Satan, right? No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about in you guys' physical world, right? Whether it's a friend on their side or your side, is a family member on their side or your side, or if it's your professions, or, you know, it's your children, or it's your whatever, right? What is going to be the biggest obstacle for you guys' union, not just when you come together, but in your marriage in general? Okay, be specific when you're asking these questions to God. Okay, and the 6th question is, other than God, of course, because we know God is the foundation of a marriage, right? Husband, wife, God, right? That is the other holy trinity. Okay, in order for any marriage to be successful, you have to have God as the foundation. We know that, right? So other than God, of course, what will be the key to maintaining you guys' bond? Okay, and so the Lord is saying, you know, people have different love languages. People receive love and give love differently. So ask the Lord, inquire to the Lord for your specific union and relationship. What is going to be the keys for you guys to maintain your bond through the ups, through the downs, through the twists and the turns and the changes and the kids and the homes and the jobs and the this and the that, right? What is going to be the key, right? For some people, it's going to be vacations. For some people, it's going to be talking before you go to bed at night. For some people, it's going to be, oh, you guys get a pet together. For some people, it's going to be date nights consistently, right? It's going to be different for everybody. Hold on, baby. Okay, so ask God about that. And then the 7th question, the last question, is, what will be your partner's weaknesses and how to handle them without damaging the bond, right? That kind of goes with the last question, how to handle them without damaging the bond, right? Because you don't need to, especially for women, right? You don't need to tell this man what his weaknesses are. You don't need to be nagging him all the time. All you need to do is ask God what are his weaknesses and pay attention, right? Discern, pay attention to what his weaknesses are, and then take it to God. Vice versa for the man, right? You don't need to put them down. You don't need to make them feel less than. You don't need to make them feel bad or guilty or try to shame them intentionally or unintentionally, right? Because you can unintentionally do that as well. You don't need to throw it in their face. You don't need to weaponize it. No. All that is going to damage your bond, right? But we know we have to be aware of our partner's strengths and weaknesses as well as our own strengths and weaknesses. But our partners and us, right, we are going to be able to tell what weaknesses are that maybe our partners can't recognize within themselves, right? But it is not our job to go and tell them, well, this is your weakness. No, that's not the way to go about that, right? And I feel like I saw Judge Lynn Toller. She was saying that on this video that I saw on Instagram, where she was saying that she was like, I know my husband's weaknesses. She was like, but he will never know that I know. She's like, I pay attention to them, but I don't say a thing about them. You don't need to. When you recognize something and it's in your heart and you take it to God, God will handle it, right? God will take care of it. You do not need to nag this man, okay? You do not need to make him feel less than. You do not need to do any of that, okay? All you need to do is pay attention to him. Pay attention, or her. Pay attention, right? And then submit your observation to God and watch how God changes that person. And you won't even have to say a word. They won't even know that you went to God about them unless it comes up, right? So I hope this helps. I hope this heals. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Click the bell button if you want to know when I post more. And I will be back.